I did.
Okay.
When I first started in 2011, Bitcoin was priced at under $1, and I didn't jump into it right away. I watched it for a little while, and this was just like today. It was very volatile back then too. It was bouncing all over the place. But eventually, I got in at $2, and that's when I made my main big
Wow.
investment.
That's amazing. That's great. So do you have drive a Lambo now?
No, no, Lambo. I'm not rich at all. Unfortunately, I did not take the wise advice of people who told me not to store your money on an exchange. And
Um,
through a very unfortunate series of many events, I ended up losing all of the Bitcoin I had purchased in Mt. Gox and subsequent other events like that. So I don't have any of it anymore, unfortunately. It would have
oh,
been
that's
worth many millions of dollars today, yes.
yeah, and an amazing story to tell there as well. That's
It's a painful story. Problems that existed back then, they do still exist today, but the systems involved in protecting these things are becoming much better. The hardware wallets that we have today are very secure, and we didn't have
right.
anything like that back then. When I actually first started in Bitcoin, I was a person who reported several critical issues in the wallet, and one of them had to do with the encryption of the wallet. When I first started, there was absolutely no encryption. If somebody was to come into your computer and take your wallet.dat file, it was completely unencrypted. They'd have everything. If a virus took it, something like that, and there were viruses out there that would spread around and try to steal this file, didn't even have basic password encryption. So we're talking about something that really started at zero and has now evolved to a point where things like Coinbase custody are pretty much bulletproof. Now, the average person is probably going to start using services like that. That's where I
Yeah.
suspect the industry will go. Most users who are there, they're storing their money in the bank today. They're not quite ready to take that step where they're going to be their own bank 100%. So they're going to trust somebody like Coinbase custody, and that's going to be keeping their money safe. And I think that's perfectly adequate for the near and possibly long-term future.